And hit record. We are now recording. So hi, everybody. My name is Jovhannah. I'm the spiritual love coach, and I put together these healing circles. They used to actually be called the Love Line, and it was just a phone call that we would do. I would do once a month, and we would just kind of do the same thing, talk about a different subject, and I would give feedback to whoever someone had a question or a challenge that they were facing. So it's the same thing, just a more interactive version. Um, some of the sessions will be a little different. Sometimes they'll just be open office hours. Other times I'll have like a set topic that I want to discuss. Like before, we talked about fear, we talked about goal setting and things like that. The conversation piece of it is really open ended. Anything that we experience in love and life is fair game to talk about in a healing circle. So why I changed the name from like the love line to the healing circle? The healing circle really had more of a um, it just really embodied what I wanted this to be, and why like I call my Facebook group the spiritual love circle, because the circle itself is a symbol of oneness. It's a symbol of unity. It's also the symbol of divine feminine or goddess energy. And historically, throughout various cultures, circles have always been representative of something. So there's like the circles at Stonehenge. The Colosseums are shaped in somewhat of a circle. And the moon itself is a circle that goes through various phases, but it's also very much tied to women and our feminine essence. So I wanted to bring back the ancient healing circle where communities would gather in a place of non-judgment, from a place of respect, to openly discuss the issues that they were having. And generally in a healing circle, there would be like a talking stick. I have this beautiful healing crystal ball that when I do live sessions, this would be passed around, and whoever has it, they would be able to speak, say whatever it is they need to say, and they would have the floor. So the purpose of healing circles was for various things: for ritual, for solving community problems, for forgiveness, for trials, for anything, for sisterhood, for connection. And that's really what I wanted to bring that in. So I hope that with this first session, that is what comes through for you. And I also, please leave in the chat box if there's any topics that you want to discuss. If these get to be like really juicy, which I'm hoping that's what they become, then I would like to do more than once a month, because I think it's very beneficial to just have this kind of help, and a place where we can come together and really just talk about what's happening in our lives. Because a lot of times we feel like we are alone and we're the only person going through things, and that's not usually true. And that's where some of the power in a healing circle comes from, is you are able to share your story, and then the people around you, they can understand you better and they can relate to it. And when you share and get something from it, we all get something from it. So don't be afraid to speak up. This is, again, it's a safe place. There's no judgment here. And also what happens in the circle stays inside the circle. So if someone is sharing their story, we don't want you to like go back to your Facebook group or friends and be like, so-and-so just said X, Y, and Z. That totally violates the trust of the circle. So welcome to the Spiritual Love Healing Circle. I'm so excited. So I said I pulled some cards before getting on, just to kind of see what to expect or maybe what to talk about. And a lot has been coming up around intuition, and really trusting ourselves, which is kind of what that goes back to. And then there's like a new moon coming in, and all sorts of things are going on with people where it's very easy to feel unsettled in who you are and not really knowing what's happening, what to do, where to go, who to trust, and all those things. So really just being able to go within is going to be very, very important for a lot of us right now. I know for myself, at the beginning of the month, it started off pretty rough. June itself was fairly good, and then it got a little foggy. Excuse me. And then towards the end of June, I got a lot of clarity and refocused myself. And then at the beginning of July, I had like a major setback dealing with some negative, non-supportive family members. So that kind of sat me down for a little bit, not completely. I was still like getting things done, but at the same time, it did bring up a lot of stuff. And I was kind of like, oh my gosh, like questioning myself. And what I had to do was like recenter myself and turn back inwards to my intuition and sharing my story and what happened with others. I got like the most love and the most support from that. Um, and again, that's just another reason why it's so important to, excuse me, to have community and people that you can turn to when things are rough. It's not about like, oh my gosh, my life isn't perfect, so I can't tell these people that this is what I'm going through. We are all going through something on some level in some way, whether it's money issues, family issues, relationship issues, issues at work, issues with food, issues with weight, issues with hair, issues with whatever. We are all going through something in life. And these different challenges that we go through help us to grow and to heal and become better people. Hello, I don't know who that was that just joined or left. I don't know. There we go. Hey, Janita, thank you for hopping in.
Hey.
Hey, we're just, I don't know, just kind of talking about intuition and being able to kind of trust yourself, especially when things get a little challenging in life, and that, you know, we all have something going on in our life that's not ideal. And so not to be afraid to like share and open up, because we can all learn and grow and heal.
Hey.
But
hold on 1 second.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna mute your line for a second, Shanita. Just let me know when you're back and I can open it back up for you. Being able to also figure out what is right for us and stick with that is where like we can create harmony and balance. So one of the things that I realized is I cannot change what anyone else thinks of me, family or not, whether they understand what I'm doing with my life or my business. That's not really my problem. That's their issue. And I can't spend my energy trying to focus on what it is that they think, but, you know, trying to appease them, because it's depleting my energy. It's a waste of time, and it's not going to change anything. So as long as I am at peace within myself and I'm happy with who I am and what I'm doing, and I'm focused on the things that I need to be focused on, then nothing else really matters as far as, excuse me, what other people may think or feel about things. Oh, it's all good. You're back in. And really just making sure that when we are making choices, that we're choosing what is right for us. It's so easy to make decisions based on what other people want for us. And that's kind of how we're taught, how we are raised from, you know, little kids all the way up until adults. It's always about what somebody else wants, these rules, where this person thinks I should go with my life, and what society says. And that creates disconnection from who we are and what it is that we want. So we still have to kind of unpack a lot of stuff in order to figure out what's underneath and who we really are and what it is that we truly want. So I just wanted to open up with those few words. And I did not have like a particular topic to discuss today, since this was going to be our first call. So the floor is open. If you have a question, a comment, a concern, anything, just want to say hello and introduce yourself. The floor is open. And if your line is muted, you'll have to unmute yourself so we can hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Hey.
Hey.
And hey, Tiffany. I know your line is muted, but okay. All right, so I just got in, and because of my interruption, couldn't hear everything. I heard you talking about intuition, and I have a question about men.
Okay.
More so in regards to the whole dating scene or something, and it has to do with well, two things. One is like getting what you want from a guy.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not talking about someone I'm dating either. This is one of those, like, I don't know, I'm in the beginning stages of learning men, like understanding them, and trying my best not to be so quick to kick people to the curb, you know. Like if they don't act a certain way in the beginning, like I'm trying to understand, like, okay, not all men are the same and some men are weird. And all right, so if I would like to receive first, and what I mean by that is in the past, I think I have been very giving in the beginning to guys, and maybe and I think that set the tone, you know, for me to never receive. Like I haven't had, my standards haven't been high enough, or my expectations haven't been high enough for me to just receive. Like, in other words, I'm understanding it's not about being materialistic. It's just about being in a space of receiving. Like, okay, can I get a back rub? Can I get, you know, unexpected flowers or something like that? I know that's cliche, but that's all I can think of. And in this case, I have a former coworker who I tried to give a shot to about a year ago, and nothing would happen. We'd never gone out or anything like that. And so then recently, a few months ago, he offered to wash my car, which really caught my attention. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And I noticed it did something to me. Like, wow. So now I want him to wash my car. So that's what I say as far as the giving. Like, okay, I want to receive. And at the same time, though, in the conversations, I noticed somehow he's brought up me cooking. And it's not that I noticed that there's something he said that piqued my interest, where all of a sudden he said something about him buying the food. And that did something to me, because I was like, wait, why do I find myself, my ego is hurting right now. Like, why do I actually want to cook something for you? Of course, he knows I will cook something healthy. I'm like, but I want the car washed first. I feel like if I do this, if I cook first, I feel like that's going to set a tone again. Like, I feel like I'm giving again. It's like, no, I want to be given something first.
Did you ask and put that out there and say, hey, this is what I'd like for you to do?
Oh, did I just come out and say I want you to wash my car before I cook for you?
Or you don't even have to say like before I cook for you, but did you just put that out there like, hey, I'd like for you to do this for me?
Yeah, I have. Well, I have told him, he knows that I want him to wash the car because he put it out there, and I let him know, like, okay, I want to let you do that. And then I've also let him know how that really caught my attention. Like that really got me excited because I'm so used to, in fact, I shared with him today. I said, I think what it is that I said, that I'm physically capable of doing it myself, but there's just something about you offering it that just made me be like, oh my gosh, yes, please. Yeah. So he knows I really want him to watch the car, or because it's not like I asked him. He just put that out there, and it just made me be like, okay. And then I've asked, like, okay, when are you gonna do that?
Yeah, so get it scheduled.
And okay, I can do that. Then how will I tell? All right, so I will do that as far as scheduling. Now, how can I tell, or how long do I give it? I guess okay. So I'm all for scheduling because I offered today, but then I realized it couldn't be done today because I just did the driveway. I paid the driveway, so I can't do that because he's going to come over here. But I want to know when or how do you tell someone's just pulling your leg? It's kind of like, because we've been having this car conversation for a while, and so it's always a matter of scheduling.
Well, I would say if the conversation's being had and maybe if scheduling is just an issue, find a date and time that works, and then he shouldn't have a problem getting it done. But if there's something comes up or it still becomes like, oh, I want to do this and it never happens, then I might start looking at it a little differently.
Okay, I'll do that. So you recommend like offer a time, like, hey, how about this day? And maybe even give options.
Maybe not options. Let's say like, are you free on Friday at 3:00? Great, you can come wash the car. And then if that doesn't work, say, okay, well, what day are you available?
Okay, I'll give that a shot. And then I'm going to be positive. I guess how words are very powerful and stuff. And then you're trying to find that balance between, being, I don't know if it's being realistic, but just being aware. That's it. Being aware, and at the same time, like trying to be optimistic, like trying not to, because sometimes you can speak things into existence. So a part of me, I'm trying not to slip into that whole like, yeah, right, whatever. And then, yeah, so that's what I'm up against. It's really my whole like Shanita making sure she doesn't go into that, you ain't gonna wash my car.
But you might be creating that resistance though. So just be fully expecting that, that's going to happen and that you deserve it. And it's going to happen. Your car's going to be all sparkly and it'll be done and you'll be able to receive that gift. I think part of it is a little bit like you're not, like you said, you're not used to like receiving first. So there's some resistance there, but just release it. And don't look at it as like well, you have to go first thing, or I can't. It just is.
Okay, I can appreciate that, because I noticed that there's this part of me now that I want to give, right? Like in that way. Like usually I don't. Well, not usually I don't. Usually I'm already involved with someone when something kicks in where I'm like, oh, yeah, you got to eat something, right? But just, I don't know, it just sounds fun just being in the kitchen. And it's not this chauvinistic stuff. So part of me was like, oh my goodness, that's not even there. Yes, let me make you a salad.
and wrong with giving. So don't feel like You know, so you can't give. If you feel compelled to give and you're giving from like, a positive place, a place of love, that's okay.
Okay. Let go of the resistance.
Yeah. So there's that balance with giving and receiving. So it sounds like it's like you're resisting receiving and you're resisting giving, but you really don't want to. So you just have to like just let it go.
Okay.
And like just I guess the expectation behind it, like, okay, well, if I do this, then I'm not gonna get. Just take that expectation away. And try not to look at it from like those dynamics, because then that puts like restraints and restrictions. So just be open to receiving something and being open to giving something, and try not to look at like all the details.
Yeah, I got that. And what came up for me too is giving someone opportunity with a clean slate, as opposed to bringing whatever I experienced in the past with people, like we just like them,
Right.
like, yeah, okay.
And that's a normal thing that happens, because our past is what we've learned from. So of course it's going to be like, okay, well, if this happened in the past, and I need to do everything in my power for it not to happen. But sometimes we just need to be aware of it, but not concentrate on it, so that we're not recreating it, and allow something new to come in, that you will attract what it is that you want, and not what it is, not what you are trying to avoid.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I'm just sitting here taking it all in.
And just say, like, I am open to receiving. I receive easily and effortlessly. I deserve to receive good things. I deserve to be treated nicely. Affirmations.
Okay. Okay. Then with that, and because I do, yes, I deserve to receive. What if it comes from someone you don't want it to come from? Like someone called me, an old schoolmate, someone I've known since the 5th grade. Never thought about this person. Went out once last year. That was the first time I learned that he was attracted to me. I was like, really? And I not attracted to this person anymore. But I decided, okay, we'll try. But no, nothing's there. Anyway, so then he called today. Haven't spoken to him in a long time, and then here he is, like, hey, what you doing? He was so direct, and I appreciate that. But it's like, why? When it comes from the person that you're not attracted to. And he offered to take me he's like, let's go play volleyball, or let's go skating. So it's like all these things I want to do. I'm like, why is it coming from you?
But do them, because what you're doing is you're creating resistance to receiving.
Okay.
Those fun things doesn't mean you have to be booed up.
Okay.
You're being
you should see my face right now. I'm like, yeah, all right.
You're just being open to, to the experience, to having fun. That doesn't mean you have to like, oh my God, like I'm gonna be tied to him forever. Like you can have a friend, and in that friendship receive.
Okay. I can get that. I think I just found myself being concerned that I've done that in the past, and then and I'm coming from a place of like, oh, we're just having fun. And then I think I just get tired of the experience of having to tell someone that I'm not attracted to them, because then they express themselves to me, and like, that's not what I wanted.
Well,
and want to be sure that I'm not.
You can set that expectation, so that, you're not sending mixed signals. And even if that means like, okay, maybe the first time y'all go out, maybe he takes care of it. And then maybe next time you take care of it. So there's a clear, like, this isn't just us dating, like we're friends doing fun stuff together.
But, okay. That helps.
Yeah.
That helps. Thank you. Because what you said just reminded me of when I was younger and I was hanging out with someone that I just considered to be a friend, but he always paid for everything. And one day I don't know, ended up having a conversation, and somehow we were talking about dating, and then I just happened to say that I wasn't dating anybody. And he's like, "You're not dating anybody?" He said, "No." He said, "So what are we doing?" And I was like, "What?" I was like, "We're not dating." Yeah. And I was like, "We're just friends hanging out." Yeah. And but that experience, I think, just now mind you, that I was I think I was 22 at the time, 22, 23, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was so unexpected. It caught me off guard. And I think from that point on, I just became concerned with guys. Like, I'm always like, okay, so what is this? Why are you paying?
Right. Like, what is the expectation behind that? I can see that.
Yeah, because he's like, why am I paying?
to say call a thing a thing, so that way there's no mixed messages, mixed signal, and somebody thinks it's a relationship and somebody else thinks, well, we just hanging out. So just, having clear expectations up front. And a lot of times guys do that. They will just assume a relationship or and yeah, they're a whole nother topic though.
No. Okay. This is good. See, I'm glad I saw your post.
Me too.
Because that's what I was wrestling with all by myself, all alone in my head.
And then what I was saying earlier was saying really to pay attention to your intuition, especially now, because there's a very just a lot going on energetically, and so our intuition is sending us all kinds of messages. So really just pay attention and allow your intuition to guide you. Try not to be so much in your head, and really focus and hear what your spirit is trying to tell you.
Okay.
Because we already know, we know the answers. It's just a matter of shushing our mind sometimes enough to hear it and not let our mind talk us out of it.
Yeah, the very first thing that came to mind as soon as you said that about listen to the intuition, the first thing that came to mind was just enjoy. Enjoy. And yeah, that's part of the whole receiving thing too. Just enjoy.
Absolutely.
And I think I need to have maybe this is a good time for me to have or get a understanding or better understanding of chakras too. Because I read something recently about the lower chakras. I'm like, maybe I should start studying that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that can be very, very important. Especially our lower three chakras, the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus chakra. Those are all kind of the physical chakras, or the earthly ones, right? They deal with sex, creativity, manifestation, feeling secure, feeling like you belong, your willpower, getting things done. And then you have the heart chakra, which is the fourth chakra. And that, of course, is all about, self-love. It's about compassion, loving your family, friends, all of that. And that is a bridge to the three higher chakras, which is your throat, third eye, and crown chakra. So that kind of bridges the physical with the spiritual, and having them in alignment helps you really to be balanced in your mind, body, and soul.
Okay.
So yes, learning about chakras is always a good thing. Always a good thing. I'm excited because I'm getting ready to make some potions. I've got some sunflower seed oil, some honey, some salt, some herbs, Yes, I can't wait to mix up my little potion.
That's cool. I'm happy for you. Wait, you just all of a sudden now you saying that just made me be happy for myself because I have just been given a challenge from an old schoolmate. I mean, schoolmate as in like high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I put up a post saying, I'm used to drawing. Anybody asking people for suggestions like what can I paint? I'm going to attempt to paint because I don't paint. I can sketch, but I've never painted. And I have
let your intuition guide you.
Well, that was it because I was like, nothing's coming. And then someone responded, of course people want to joke, like, paint me. And so the one person who I actually went on a date with last year, he's like, paint me. I'm like, whatever. Yeah. And then this other person who I have not seen since high school, who I wasn't really close to or something, like I know of him. And then he said me, and I'm like, yeah, right. But then when I looked at his cover photo, I was drawn to it. Now I would sketch it, absolutely. Mm-hmm. But because I haven't painted before, I was like, so I was doing this back and forth with him. Like we're talking trash. I'm like, I'm not painting, man. Like, or I don't remember how the whole conversation went. But then, because he showed me some pictures. Like, no, I'm not painting that. And then I said, let me look at your pictures. And I was really into this. I just kept staring. I was just fixated on one drawing, one photo. It's of him looking at himself in the mirror. Mm. And everything in me, I said, I know I could draw it. But then over time, there was something in me that felt a little uncomfortable. So I didn't feel confident. So then when I identified it, I commented and let them know. I said, I would feel more comfortable drawing you, because I felt like, okay, now I've got myself caught up in this thing. And I said, I would feel more comfortable drawing you because, to do that, I couldn't paint you quickly. It would take me too long to paint you, my first go around. And then, because he wants to give this to, he said he wants to give it to his girl, his woman, I guess, before he leaves for Iraq or something.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. And, so it became bigger. And I'm like, okay, I just wanted to paint something. Somebody suggested unicorn. I'm like, yeah. And
you're trying to get a commission painting.
Yeah, because he was like, I was looking for someone. But then what tripped me out is that he has such a vote of confidence. And I'm thinking, like, Richard, did you even know? Like, did you know I could draw back in the day? Like, have you seen my work? Why do you have so much confidence in me? Because I don't recall drawing in high school. I recall drawing I recall everyone knowing I could draw when I was like in the 5th or 6th grade, but I don't recall drawing in high school. And so he had all this confidence in me. But then when I said there isn't enough time, that I wouldn't have enough time my first go around, when he said, it's okay, I'll leave until the end of August. I have faith in you. And then all of a sudden, that made all the difference. That made a shift in me. And I accepted it. I got excited. I welcomed the challenge. Okay. And because I would like to create this. And then I felt like everything in me was at peace and said, you can do that. you could do that. And it was like, so now you don't feel rushed. And like, you have until the end of August. You'll get it done before then, but you can do that. And I'm just finding myself excited. So for you talking about potions, at first I felt like, oh, I wish I had something. And then I was like, wait, I have something too I'm going to be playing with.
Good. Yes. Good.
So yeah, I mean, I guess it's gonna be commission. I'm gonna have to send him instant, get in his inbox. Like, okay, so you plan on buying this from me,
right? Something, a donation at least.
I know, because I explained to him, I said, dude, this isn't a small canvas. It's a pretty large canvas. So,
That's a big
yay.
project. That's good. I'm glad to see that you are creating.
I am.
Yes.
And I am. So, yeah, doing what I love.
That is what life is all about, doing what we love. Uh-oh, let me make sure nobody else registered and I didn't let them in. Hang on. I did it where I had to approve people this time around just to see, because next time I'll probably keep it to like my list, so that way everyone can just join in automatically. But I didn't want, I had a few men register and I'm like, y'all didn't read. This is for the ladies. This is a sister circle, sir. But yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't mind talking with fellas, but I think that, I don't know, there's something about just being in community with women where we can be a little more open and a little more vulnerable in a way that is more authentic when it's just us in the building.
I agree.
And I wrestled with that. I was like, I don't know, should I open this to men? Should I not? And I just feel called to really just support women. And if I did do something with men, it would probably have to be separate, because I can see, I don't know, I just don't feel like it would be very harmonious at this time to try to blend men in with the group. So, sorry, boys. Sorry. What else is going on? Like I said, I didn't plan a topic this go around. I probably will. I probably will for the next one. I was expecting more people to join in too, so I was thinking everyone would have like something on their mind to talk about. There was something that I wanted to share. Hold on, let me think. What was it? Oh, what was it? I'm trying to remember. It came up when you were talking to me about. I don't know, but since we're talking about creativity and play, and this is something that I shared before too, like the importance of playing and expressing yourself in some kind of way, whether it's through art, through dance, through writing, through whatever, making sure that you're carving out time to do something fun for you. One of the things that I do, I guess it's not necessarily fun, but I don't know, it works for me, is usually at night around between 11 and like 1 a.m., like I'll go outside and I'll walk. One, because it's really cool, it's quiet, and I just like it. There's something about being out under the stars and when the moon is out too that just really calls to me. So that's one of my like self-care practices, is I will go outside and just walk the neighborhood for a bit. And it's not necessarily like a creative thing, but it gets my body moving. And for me, it's like a walking meditation. But as I'm walking, I'm like getting ideas, and I'm like, okay, I need to do this and I need to do that. And it's also a time where I can disconnect and I don't have my phone with me. It's just me outside. Sometimes I'll have one of my crystals with me, or like some sage. I'm just saging away as I'm walking. And for me, that is like a really great way to end the day, especially in times where it's like stressful or I just have a lot going on. It's a good release for me to just do that. We don't always make time for ourselves like that, whether it is, something extravagant or something as simple as a walk. But I can say, excuse me, you guys, I'm so sorry. I can say that it is really helpful to me to do that on a daily basis. It's Amazing. So try to find some time in your day for yourself for some sort of de-stressing, decompressing, whether it is a creative thing, like I have journals that I write in, just really doing something to recharge yourself and reconnect with yourself. One of the things that I'm trying to do is to limit access to my phone, especially at night and in the morning. And sometimes, like, that's the first thing I do. I reach for my phone because I got to check and see what time it is. So I did say that I was going to buy an alarm clock. So I don't have like a regular alarm clock. So I'm going to buy an alarm clock. That way I don't have to have my phone on or near me at night. And so that way in the morning, it won't necessarily be the first thing that I'm reaching for. That can make a really big difference in your day, because if you reach for your phone and you're checking through notifications, trying to see who called, trying to see what posted, it sets your mind up to always like be looking for information. So you're always looking for the next thing. And it gets your mind busy right in the first start of the day. So one of the things that I do is, if I do check the time, I put the phone back down and then I just concentrate on my breathing for just a couple of minutes. And that's, again, like another form of meditation that I find to be really helpful, because it gets me to center and focus back on myself and not necessarily on my phone. So just little things like that can help make major improvements throughout the day. Turning off notifications is something that I will be doing soon, because I get quite a few notifications. So I want to change that and just really have a little more disconnect time and more focus, like real world time and activities, and get back to using the phone for what it's supposed to be for, phone calls.
Yes.
And I'll even was like, where can I find one of them old school flip phones from? Because I just, this is too much connection.
My dad still has his, and he's talking about get a smartphone. It's like, don't do it.
Yeah.
And he's older, well, much older. And for me, I remember I didn't want a smartphone. I held onto my flip phone until it no longer worked, and I don't remember why. Well, at the time, I don't even think social media was as big. It's amazing how quickly it became big. Mm-hmm. Because I'm trying to think how long have I had a smartphone. Only for a few years.
2005, 2006 is when they first started like putting the keyboards on the phone.
Okay. And then
2008, 2009, 8, somewhere around there is when the first iPhone came out. And after then, it's just been like, you got a whole computer in your pocket.
and then Facebook wasn't even, it wasn't big in 2008.
Nope. I got on Twitter in 2007, and that's when Twitter first started. And I've been on Twitter. That's my thing.
Okay.
Twitter. So Facebook, because we were still on MySpace, Facebook
right,
came about maybe 2008,
2009 or something. Yeah. And so just how quickly everything came about, maybe it was 2013 that I got a smartphone, 2013, 2014 or something like that. And I didn't want one at the time. And even then, well, yeah, people were on Facebook then, but I still don't think it was like in 2013. I still don't think it was as big. And because I just remember my friend who wanted me to get a smartphone, he was saying that he emailed something to me, and I had to wait until I got home to look. He's like, "Well, you have a smartphone?" I'm like, no. I'll check my email when I get home. So at that time, it was about checking emails. Now it's
everything.
Yeah, and what you said about being unplugged, and then I feel like what's his name? I feel like Al Pacino in Godfather 3, because every time I uninstall it, I install it again. So I feel like just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in. And so I can appreciate what you just suggested, because I have found myself, I don't know, like I'm thinking like, yeah, maybe I should get a phone. I mean an alarm clock. The clock I had, it was so old. I had it forever, and it just died. I think I've had that clock since college. So I had to get rid of it.
Last time I had an alarm clock, but I need one, and I might even stop at Walmart on my way home and grab one. I don't know. I might check Amazon and just order it because it'd probably be cheaper.
Okay, yeah, because maybe I just need one that sounds pleasant. Well, one that will actually wake me up, because I'm a heavy sleeper. I sleep. I get my sleep.
Yeah,
but something that isn't like you know those old wind-up clocks with the bells.
Yeah, those did not work for me. I tried those.
They didn't work as far as waking you up?
Nope.
Okay, I used to, in college, my roommate, who I know since the age of 3, she got upset because I wouldn't wake up. and I would, because, I'm waking her up. My clock is waking her up. So then I got one of those wind-up clocks. It woke me up the first few days. Then after that, I'll sleep right through it. She's like, oh my God, how do you sleep through?
I wake up with either music or sunlight. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
And with what you just said, that's another thing. I'm getting back into. Well, you can tell I'm still. I want to, or I'm committed to really going with nature, because this is the time when we should be out and about more. And since I'm no longer at my job, I noticed that, well, I don't have to get up 4 o'clock in the morning. So I don't. Mm-hmm. So I have to give myself a reason to get up at 4 o'clock, because I actually like that time. I like that time. I'm
quiet.
It's just that I don't like going to bed. It's not that I hate getting up in the morning. It's just that I'm a night owl and an early bird. And so one always has to give. And like it's almost 10 o'clock now. Like I won't go to bed. There's no way. I'm not going to bed at 10 o'clock. That's crazy.
Yeah, I go to bed between around 1, somewhere around between 11 and 1, 2-ish maybe. See? Yeah, I'm a night owl, and then up the next morning like ready to go. I'm the same way.
But something else that came up for me as you were talking, and you're talking about making your potions and stuff, but there was something you said in there that when I was talking about my artwork, I noticed, since I am not employed anymore, and now the way I've lived in California, I'm going to apply that here in Cleveland, which is, creating something for myself, and what that will be, I don't know. But as far as the art, it entered my mind that, because I know I'll do a great job. And that's the thing, even as I say that, I'm wrestling with that part of me that absolutely knows I'm gifted. And then the part that's like, okay, that's really cocky of you. But then something's like, yeah, but it's true. I know I'll do an excellent job. And it may open up something for me. Like it's kind of like, but I think it's me finally owning. Like if you ask me about singing, I know I can sing. I know I can act. The drawing, I don't know. It's maybe because I haven't done it consistent. I haven't done it on a regular basis since I was younger. But I'm just now realizing, like, yeah, but you're really good. Like, just imagine if you kept going. So I see the potential for it, like opening other possibilities for me, like, because I'm going to take a picture of it, I'm going to post it, he's going to show people, and I guess it's just the thing of, oh man, but why couldn't that have happened sooner? because it'll probably bring in some good money. Like it'll make open up the doors. Like, why couldn't that happen like today, like why, like in other words, you know how when you need something now, it's like, but I need money now. It's like, oh, but here's this. It's like someone saying, yeah, we'll hire you. You can start in 3 weeks. Like, ah. So that's yeah. I'm just up against that right now.
Yeah, don't
I only need my phone bill paid. That's all.
Don't. Yeah, and it's easy to say like, oh my gosh, if I started this, however many, years ago, where I would be now. Don't do that to yourself, because everything happens when it's supposed to, and you want to say that, like, that gratitude for whatever it is that you had to go through and grow through to get to this place. So everything happens in divine timing, and when it's and when it's supposed to. And I keep feeling like too, like we have to fill ourselves up with love, so that we can get the abundance, the success, the relationship, the love, the external love, all of that. Like I keep feeling like, if we're coming from a place of lack or resistance or fear, that's going to create blocks to the happiness, to the happy life, to all the things that we desire. So if anything, make sure like to take away that, to like really pour into yourself and realize that lack, struggle, fear, all of that is an illusion. And if we can really tap into ourselves and into our gifts, into our spirit, we can see through all of that and really move through any obstacles or challenges that we feel are standing in the way between us and our dream, whatever that dream might be.
I get that.
And that's just like a general message. And that's a reminder to me also, like we really have to fill up on ourselves. I've been reading this book, and it's about abundance, because that's an area. Excuse me. I'm sorry, I keep yawning because I went to bed like really late and woke up really early.
It's okay.
And it talks about how abundance is ours, it's our birthright. And basically how society got away from that thought process and created, all of these systems in the sphere and lack. They created scarcity and they created lack to disempower us, because now money is associated with our self-worth. And if we don't feel valued, that's going to affect our money. If we don't feel that we deserve the money, that is going to affect our self-worth. So they kind of go like hand in hand. And it talks about how going within and getting into with the God, the goddess that is within you, because that is where you will release those ideas of lack and those ideas of scarcity and those ideas of separation, because that's where we kind of got lost in the sauce, is thinking that we are separate and forgetting that we are spiritual beings and that abundance is our birthright. And so a lot of the work that we do as adults, if we are, working on ourselves and trying to grow, is to get back to that place of knowing who we are, believing in ourselves, and breaking through fears and all the crap that has been, that we've learned through our lives by the people who loved us, people who didn't love us, and just society telling us different things. that serve no purpose but to screw up, just cause confusion, and dis-ease, um, and separation. So it's really interesting as I am going on this journey. And for me, it's important because I am a full-time business owner. So I don't have that consistent paycheck every 2 weeks anymore. So it's making me really look at my relationship with money, how that ties into myself, and the stuff that I have with my family because they're not supportive, um, with what I'm doing. And so all of these things have to be addressed. Like I have to work through them, I have to process them. And some of the ways that I'm doing that are by taking my nightly walks, yoga, um, my little potions and things that I create. And I also do energy healing sessions on myself every week so that I'm processing, clearing my energy field. Um, so yeah, it's really just taking care of myself the best way I know how. My ear just started ringing. Taking care of myself the best way that I know how, because that's the only way that I'm going to elevate myself. And in doing that, sharing the things that I'm learning with my tribe so that you can learn from my missteps, my mistakes, my successes, all of that. Because I don't know, I think for me, like it's really important to pass knowledge on to others. Like that saying goes, each one teach one, because you might know something I don't know, I might know something you don't know, but if we share the information, then we both know something. We can both go back to our respective communities and now share the complete knowledge and help the people behind us. So I don't know.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that because, and well, particularly what you're bumping up against in regards to family and stuff as you're embarking on a different path from them. And what you said that I felt the need to write down was taking care of myself the best way that I know how. Keyword, two keywords, myself, the way I know how, meaning um, and you can identify what my needs are. People outside of me may know some of them, but then there are things that I need that no one will know because they're not me. And that also let me serve as a reminder, listen to you, let me know, oh, since I went to this family reunion last weekend, was it last weekend? I think it was last weekend, something like that. It was my very first family reunion ever.
Oh, and that? I remember, yeah, you were telling me about that.
Man, I'm so glad I went because, all right, it was from Thursday through Sunday, but my dad and I didn't get there until Friday. And so we got there in time for the banquet that was Friday evening. But Saturday morning there was a business meeting. And with all the people that showed up for this family reunion, there was only a few people that came to the business meeting. And I'm so glad I went because I got to meet people of like mind and like spirit. And I'm up here like, I need your phone number and your phone number. I didn't know y'all existed. I didn't know. I thought I was the only one in my family. And then, but listening to you, I now know if there is someone I need to call because there's a cousin there and he's older and he's wealthy and what does he do? I guess investments or something. And I end up talking to him. I said, I have to have your number. I said, because and I ended up saying to him, I said, I'm from Cleveland. I moved to California in 2008, and then I took a big leap and left the workforce. He didn't blink. He didn't like, what? He said, I get it.
Wow.
And he said, I'm gonna tell you, he said, I used to work for Merrill Lynch, and I left Merrill Lynch, and everybody thought I was crazy. He said I was doing well in Merrill Lynch. I left Merrill Lynch. He said my wife left her job. No, he said, but I was, he said he was seeking something bigger, something else. Something else was calling to him. And so he understands the whole thing about stepping out and having to deal with people thinking you're crazy and they don't understand. But you're aiming for something bigger, especially when you're not only doing it for yourself, but when you're doing it for your people, for your family and for your people. So listening to you tonight remind me, okay, yeah, let me give him a call to make sure I keep in touch, because here I am thinking about how this person, I just clicked real quick to see, because it was showing me that the guy who wants me to draw the picture, he said something. I look, he's commented singing the song, I guess the little Kiki song everybody keeps doing.
Oh, yeah.
I guess so he just commented with some music notes, and with he's excited, and I'm thinking, wow. So what I get is, and this goes back to the reading that I had with you, and then what keeps popping up is, everything for me is like, I already know, like you already know. And for me, it's always been like my gifts will open up things for me. But what I wasn't thinking about the drawing. And now I'm being more present to how things were when I was a child, when in art class, it was so fun for me. And then I would never forget someone in art class, I'm like 10 or 11 years old, and one of my classmates comes with me, oh, can you draw a horse? Can you draw a horse for me? I had never drawn a horse. And I said, okay. And I managed to draw a horse. And I noticed, like, when it comes to drawing, if it's something I've never done before, when you come at me with like, well, you can do it, like, oh, can you draw this? Then okay. Like, if you need me to do it, I'll do it. Mm-hmm. Somehow I managed to just be like, the fear goes out the window. I guess I'm just, because I have to be of assistance. and that's where my confidence kicks in, because I'm like, I know I can do it. I can do it because you need me to do it. But to expect to be compensated for it, this is where the new chapter begins for me. Is wow, what was so greatly appreciated by my peers, and I didn't even know it, and what was so easy and fun for me is now about to be one. I already know it's about to be one stream of income for me. It is, and not in a hardship way. And I say that because I do have a friend who's an artist, and that's all he does. I think I'll probably go about it in a different way from him, because for me it's very therapeutic. And that's when I stopped drawing in the 7th or 8th grade. And it wasn't until my late 20s that I realized, oh, the drawing that was my language. That was therapy for me. And since I was no longer drawing, food filled the void. Mm. And I said, yeah, I did kind of start packing on pounds then. I mean, but even more so in high school. But I said, oh, food. I was using food. So yesterday, I felt some kind of way. Wasn't sure how, but then something in me wanted to paint. And rather than deny myself that, and I was wondering, paint what? And someone's like, no, like this thing that you're feeling right now, grab the canvas, take the wrapping, open the package up, and just don't worry about the finished product. And then sure enough, I started playing some music and I felt good. And I'm just glad that you're here, because I need to know that there are other people who are just saying, look, I'm going for it. I'm doing my thing. And once again, to quote you, you're just taking care of yourself the best way you know how.
And I had to say that because I have all of these healing modalities at my fingertips, right? I've got all of the things in the world, and it's like sometimes I forget and I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? And then when I sit and I'm like, you know what to do. Do what you do for other people. What would I tell somebody? So it's like I have to step outside myself and coach myself. Like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We got to do this. We need to do that. And so then I go back to my tools. I do what spirit leads me to do, which is healing and get myself back together. So that's why I say that's like the best way I know how. It's like a reminder to me, like you're not out here not knowing. Like you have everything under the sun to possibly be all right. I got essential oils. I've got all kinds of divination tools, energy healing, Reiki, angel healing, crystal healing. I should be good.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I just have to remember to do that for myself, because it's easy to forget, especially like when the world is throwing a whole lot of junk your way and you get caught up in the matrix. And so then I fall out of alignment, and then it's like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? So like I schedule it in. Every week I do my angelic healing session. And I start my day a certain way where I'm like reviewing everything and really pouring in my mindset. I've got my little affirmation journal right here, which I love. And I kind of tweaked this to where I'm making gratitude lists in addition to affirmations. So like at the end of the day, on one side of the page, I'll write what I'm grateful for the day. On the next side of the page, the things that I'm expecting that I'll be grateful for. So it's kind of like a wish list. Like I'm grateful for this brand new house I just bought. Like whatever, just, you know, dream big. And it really helps, especially when I do this before bed. And if I have a crappy day, then I'll just read through it until, like, you know, you can feel your energy shift and you're like, okay, I'm not in that bad mood anymore. So I'll just read through it until I feel my energy shifts, and then just get going. But it's imperative. It's so imperative to take care of self, because that's all we got at the end of the day. And that's something that I was also reminded of, like family, friends, sister circle, best friend, cousins, enemies. At the end of the day, nobody owes us anything. Nobody like has to be there for us. The people that are there for us are a blessing. But they don't have to be. And I had this realization with myself, like dealing with this family stuff. And I'm like, you know what? They don't owe me anything the same way I don't owe them anything. The only person that I truly, truly need to worry about and work on is myself. And of course I have children. So yes, I got to take care of them too. But I can't do that if I'm not taking care of myself. If my mindset, if my body, if my emotions, if my spirit ain't right, I'm not going to be any good to them or to me. So it's just coming back full circle, taking care of self, tuning into your intuition, making wise choices, and staying in harmony or in balance with yourself.
Okay.
But yes, I said I was going to keep these to about, to about an hour. So we're going over just a little bit. But before we wrap up, which deck do I want to do?
The pretty one.
They're both pretty. Okay, somebody pick. Which one? The Soul's Journey or The Universe Has Your Back?
The Universe Has Your Back is my vote.
Okay. All right. That's the one I was going with. But I was like, I don't know.
Really? Is Tiffany still with us? Can she type? Can she type in? Can you type in, Tiffany? Maybe she can't type.
She might not be able to. I don't know if she's on. a phone or computer. But I'm going to pull a card from The Universe Has Your Back, which is a very inspirational deck, just to give us some guidance for the week ahead. Let's see.
I don't know. You just like, my birthday is next Saturday, so this is good time, perfect timing. Yes.
Oh, all
going
right.
into that, like, yeah, the universe has my back.
The universe does have your back. Oh, okay. Let's go with this card. Ah! So it says the universe works fast when I'm having fun.
Oh.
We talked about playing a little earlier today. So when we are in that creative mode and we're in that place of having fun, we can manifest a lot easier because we're already vibrating high. So you're in a good mood, you're doing something you love, and you're being creative. That's when spirit moves through you. Like when you are in your zone and you're doing what you love and it's just a lot of fun. And that's why I said we have to make time to play, do something fun for ourselves, because that is when magic happens.
Volleyball and skating with somebody I don't like.
You don't have to like them. You ain't gotta like them, but you can go have fun.
That's true. I took I had to make a point to take a picture of that.
Did you get the picture?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know what? I have to keep in mind. I like this person, not romantically, but I did like him in the 5th or 6th grade.
Yeah.
He was that person that, like, everybody's like, you got to sit next to him. And then it turns out he was like a really cool person. So, but thank you for pulling that card.
You are welcome, ladies. I appreciate you joining me tonight. I'm looking forward to the next healing circle. If there's anything in particular that you guys want to discuss, let me know or send me an email at heartset@thespirituallovecoach.com. Or if you are in the Spiritual Love Circle on Facebook, you can always just message me there. But
yes.
But I have been listening. Oh, thank you, Tiffany. She said she hasn't been able to talk, but she's been listening. Love the conversation. I'm so glad that you joined us. Let me know, like, do we want to do this once a month? Do we want to shoot for maybe twice a month? I don't know what feels good to you all.
I would like twice, but you know, if you can only do it once, that's fine.
Okay. Well, I will put that out there. Maybe I'll do another one. Yeah, maybe we'll do another one at the end of the month. We'll see.
Okay.
All right. Twice as well. Okay. All right. I think I can make that happen. Stay tuned. I will post some more information about the next healing circle. I'm so glad that I got to spend this time with you all. Have a magical night, and I will talk to you soon. And I'll email the replay link out probably tomorrow morning, because I'm about to go home and go to bed.
Thank you. And thanks to what you said, I'm about to go outside and stand barefoot on the front or backyard.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Have a good night, Tiffany.
Good night.
You
You're
too,
welcome,
Jovhannah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.